Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Jum, and if today is your first time of seeing my channel, you are warmly welcome. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how to draft this trendy Bustier illusion yoke. This is so easy to make, and it's a beginner friendly. And if that sounds interesting to you, please keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, I already have my pattern paper on my work table, and I will go ahead and start marking out my point. The distance from my shoulder to my chest line is 8 inches. The distance from my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches. And the distance from my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches. And the half length of this top is 14 and a half, okay? Which is also my waistline. And after that, I will go ahead and rule out my points just like you see me doing. And after doing all that, on the starting line of this pattern paper, which is my shoulder line, I will take half of my shoulder measurement. Mine is 7.5, and I will also go down on the chest line and repeat the same measurement that I just marked on the shoulder line, okay? And after doing that, I will connect the two lines together into a straight line. So guys, after doing all that, what I'm going to do next is to label out my lines, which is my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, and also my waistline. So after that, I will go ahead to the armhole line. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch on the line there, and I'm going to connect that to my neckline, and that will serve as our shoulder slope. So guys, the next thing I will do is to take 3 inches for my neck width, and I will also take 2 inches for my neck depth. And you should know that depends on how low you want your neckline to be, okay? And after doing that, I'm going to use my ruler to curve that into a round neckline. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to place my tape on this straight line we have right here, and what I have there is 7 inches, and I'm going to divide that into 2 and mark out the midpoint, which gave me 3.5 inches, and I'm going to point that down, okay? So guys, after doing that, I will go inward on that dot by half an inch, as you can see, and then I'm going to place my bust circumference divided by 4 on my chest line, and I will also indicate what I have with a dot. After that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect from the shoulder slope to meet the half an inch, and from there to meet the mark on my chest line, okay? Just like you see me doing. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my bust span measurement, which is half of my nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 8 inches, and that divided by 2 gave me 4 inches. And I'm going to place that 4 inches on my bust point, the same 4 inches on the under bust point, and the same 4 inches on the waistline. And after doing that, I'm going to connect all the dots into a straight line. And after that, I will place my tape on the under bust line like this and go up by 1 inch. You can decide to dip your own than this and go up by 1 inch from your waistline, but I don't want mine to be too deep. That's why I'm taking my measurement from the other bust line. And the next thing I'm going to do is to determine how wide I want the net on the center of the top to be. So it totally depends on you. For me, I will place my tape on the center front, and I will go out by 2.5 inches. So if you want the net to be really wide, you can do 3 inches or 3.5 inches, okay? And the next thing I will do is to place my tape on the curved part of this of my armhole, and I'm going to mark 4 inches there, and I will indicate that with a dot, and I will go ahead to use my curved ruler to connect from the 1 inch below the bust point. This is a sweetheart necktie, okay? So go ahead and curve it out very well. So I will curve it to meet the 2.5 inches mark on the chest line. Just place your ruler like you see me doing, and make sure your line is not straight, okay? And after doing that, this is what I have, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my dart, and I will take 1 inch on the waistline. That would be my center front and also my side front. And on my under bust, I will go ahead and also take 1 inch from both sides as well. And after doing that, I will connect that into a straight line like this. So the next thing I will do is to go down on the bust point by 1 inch, and I will indicate that 1 inch with a dot. And after doing that, I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect from the under bust point to meet this 1 inch, and make sure the position of your French curve is not too curvy, and also don't make it too sharp at the same time, okay? So I'm going to connect it like this. So the next thing I will do is to extend my dart length to meet the curve I have above the chest line, okay? And I'm going to connect that to meet that straight line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to tighten my over bust. So I'm going to place my tape on that straight line, and I will go out by 1 inch, and I will indicate the 1 inch with the dot. And after doing that, guys, I'm going to go up by 1 inch on the bust point. So after doing that, I'm going to connect my 2 dots with my curved ruler, and I go up by 1 inch on the bust point because I don't want my dart to be too sharp, okay? So after connecting, guys, this is what I have. So in order not to run short of fabric after taking in this 1 inch dart, I will go ahead and increase the armhole area by 1 inch, so that after taking in my dart, everything is going to be the same measurement. So guys, after connecting, this is what I have. So in order not to run short of fabric after taking in that 1 inch dart, so I will go ahead and increase the armhole area by 1 inch, so that after taking in my dart, everything is going to be the same measurement. One part is not going to be shorter than the other one, okay? So I will go up by 1 inch from that straight line on the armhole area. So guys, after doing that, I will go ahead and start placing my measurements on the chest line. I already have my bust circumference divided by 4, and I will go ahead and replace that of 1 inch. I will add 2 extra inches as my stitching allowance, and on the under bust, I will place my under bust measurement divided by 4. I will also replace the dart, and I will add 2 inches for my stitching allowance as well, and I will do the same on the waistline by dividing my waist circumference by 4, and I will also replace the dart and add an extra 1 inch for my stitching allowance, okay? So after doing that, I will go ahead and connect my point together. Then I've gone ahead to extend my armhole, and I extended that straight line to meet the new 1 inch mark. So I'm going to use my ruler to rule out my new armhole area. So by the time I'm done, I'm not going to run short of fabric by the time we are sewing, okay? So guys, we are done with the front pattern, and what I will do next is to go ahead and cut out my pattern. So place close attention to it so you will know where to cut, okay? So after cutting, guys, this is what we have. We have the yoke, the center front, and also the side front, okay? You are going to cut your yoke with your skin tone net or your lace, depending on what you want, okay? So now let's go ahead to cut our back. So guys, for the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out my point. I have my chest line, which is 8 inches. I have my bust point, which is 10 inches. And also I have my waistline, which is 14.5. We don't need another bust measurement here because it is not important. So what I'm going to do next is to place my tape on the center back and take half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. And I will go ahead and place the same measurements on my chest line. And after doing that, I'm going to connect that into a straight line. And the next thing I'm going to do is to go down by 1 inch from my shoulder slope. So I'm going to place my tape on the straight line, and I will go down by 1 inch. And after that, I will connect it to my neckline. So now I will place my tape on this area, and I'm going to mark the midpoint. I'm going to indicate that 3.5 with the dots, and on the chest line I will place my bust circumference divided by 4. I will indicate that with a dot, and after doing that I will use my ruler to connect my armhole. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is to contour my back. So at the center back, I will be coming up by 2 inches around the neckline, and I will also come down to the waistline and come in by 0.75, and I will place my curve ruler this way and curve it to the other part like so. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my body measurement just to shape my pattern, and I'm going to rule that out. After that, I will come down 1 inch at the armhole line, and I will measure what I have from the shoulder to the point I just made, and that gave me 8.5. And I will come to the center back and mark 9.5. So that's like additional 1 inch to the 8.5, and I will connect that across from one point to the other, okay? After that, I will mark 2 inches for my neck depth and 3 inches for the neck width, and I will curve it into a round neckline. And on the center back, you can decide to take out 1 inch or 1.5 depending on how wide you want the piece that will contain your highlight to be, okay? But for me, I like doing 1.5 and that works perfectly for me. And after that, I will go ahead to rule that out. For the yoke part, I want it like a teardrop, so I will go down by 2 inches and I'm going to connect from that point to meet that highlight line I marked earlier, and the other part will contain the button or hook. Just go ahead and give it any shape you like, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut out my pattern. So guys, this is what I have after cutting it. You can see how lovely and well shaped this is looking. So I'm going to bring my front pattern and I'm going to show you guys what the both of them is looking like. Guys, this is what the front and the back pattern is looking like, and you can see this was so easy to make, and I hope this tutorial was so helpful to you guys. And thank you so much for watching up to this moment. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please kindly hit on that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to be the first person to get notified anytime I post a new video. And I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye guys.